Hey guys, I thought I'd bring you along with me today as I cure this pork belly. So we process our own pigs here. We actually do it ourselves. We raise them and then process them. It surprisingly only takes us about 4 hours from the time that we put the pig down until it is vacuum sealed in our freezer. We're getting very close to the point of processing our next set of pigs. So my pork bellies from last year had to come out of the freezer, and I'm just gonna cure these in a simple solve. And I just thought I'd show you guys how to do that and how easy it is. So I have my pork belly here. I've thawed it out. I've gone ahead and dried it with a towel that doesn't produce any lint on the food. You wanna make sure that it's lint free. And I've got it here, and I just have some pink Himalayan sea salt. You can use regular sea salt, Himalayan pink sea salt. Just make sure that it's just pure salt, nothing iodized or nothing with like an anti-caking agent or anything like that. So pretty simple. And the idea is just that you're gonna just put as much salt on this as the meat will hold. And then I'm gonna place it here in my bin. This is like a bus bin if people were clearing tables at a restaurant, and I have a rack in there. So I'm just gonna place it in there. I will put this in my refrigerator for about 5 to 7 to 10 days, just depending on how long the process takes. And the idea is that the water will basically be removed from the meat by the salt. And once I don't see any more water accumulating in the bottom of my bus bin, then I'll know that the process is complete. So having a rack to elevate your meat off of the bottom of this is pretty much essential. So that's what we're gonna do. But basically I woke up today and we got some stuff done, basically just kind of household chores and things. And I kind of I felt a little paralyzed today. I don't know if it was more overwhelmed or if it was just the thought of, gosh, there's so much to do and I don't know what to do first. So I basically didn't do much today for the first half of the day, but by the second half of the day, I went outside with the kids. We had a little picnic in the driveway with the dog, and that was kind of fun. And then I decided, well, I might as well get myself into gear, and went down and did some weed whacking in the garden and around the blueberry fence. And then I thought, well, I might as well cure these pork bellies. So anyways, yeah, I think just the thought of planting everything out and watching the temperatures that we're having over the next 10 days, kind of still seeing that things are gonna be in the 40s and high 30s. Now my garden sits sort of at a low point, so I can get a frost when it's 39 degrees out, just because that cold air tends to accumulate in the garden. So I'm holding off on planting everything, but things are getting really big. I wanna get them out. I'm not exactly sure when to put them out, where I'm gonna be planting everything in the in-ground garden as far as my beans and my cowpeas and that type of stuff. So it's just sort of a lot of decisions. And then I was also thinking, gosh, should we put in another garden? And I feel like we should, but I don't want to. I'm tired. I'm just a little overwhelmed with everything. So I did end up building 2 raised beds. So we put those in the garden. So hey, that's something, right? But anyways, I'm just kind of going with the next thing, and tomorrow I'll just do the same thing. So if you guys are feeling discouraged or whatnot, just try to do something. I did place an order with Azure Standard for some of those things that I need, like salt and things like that. So I guess that got done. But it is very easy to just kind of feel paralyzed with so many things to do and not knowing what to do first, or not knowing what's going to give the biggest impact and all that stuff. Even just sitting on the computer and trying to order things online can even just seem overwhelming at times, because there's just so many products to get. For instance, our goats are going to be kidding soon, and so there's a whole bunch of products that I need for that, from everywhere from a vitamin B complex if I want to give that to the mamas after they birth, vitamin E for the babies, obstetrical lube, just all kinds of stuff that you never thought that you would ever have in your house. But I do have it in my house. Udder balm is another thing. Iodine for a teat dip. Just kind of crazy stuff. anyways, it can get a little overwhelming seeing all of that product that needs to be ordered, all of the money going out to that, because man, this stuff is not cheap. But I'm just trying to do the next thing that I know needs to be done and just sort of move along, even if it is at a bit of a snail's pace today, because that's what I feel like. All right, so I basically have as much salt as this piece of meat can handle. And I've got my bin here, and I have another piece here, and this is just the rack that I'm using for that. So it just keeps it elevated off of the bottom of the bin. And I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna place this in here as well. And then I'm just gonna place this in my refrigerator outside for, like I said, 5 to 7 days. Basically, when I'm not seeing any more liquid coming out of the meat, that's kind of what I want to see. There's other processes that you can do for other cuts of meat, but for pork belly, you basically just want that liquid to come out of the meat. And then, yeah, so pretty easy process. And when they're all done, we'll have some really good bacon. So anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed with the world and a little overwhelmed with everything that you feel like you need to do, just take a breath. Sometimes it's okay to do nothing, and I did that all morning. But then I decided I should probably do something. So that's okay. But just do the next thing, guys. Just keep moving forward. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.